Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Red Baker, and I'm the director of the School of Forest Resources and Conservation until today, when I become the director of the School of Forest, Fisheries, and Geomatics Sciences. And whether you're joining us here in person or online, I'd like to thank you for participating in this brief name change ceremony. This journey began some 86 years ago, back in 1935, when the Florida legislature approved a continuing appropriation to fund the creation of a Department of Forestry in the College of Agriculture at UF. In July of that very same year, Professor Harold Newens became the first forestry professor and head of the School of Forestry, or at that time, Department of Forestry. Many of us don't know this, but to commemorate that event, Dr. Newens and his students planted a slash pine tree near the Plaza of the Americas, and that tree still stands today, 86 years later, and has witnessed many changes across UF's campus. A little over 2 years after that tree was planted, Professor Newens again successfully petitioned the Florida legislature to create a School of Forestry within the College of Agriculture at UF. And that bill was signed into law by Governor Fred Cohn, and there is a picture of that signing event and the pen that he used to sign the bill into law on display outside of our office on the first floor of Newens Ziegler Hall. Over time, the forestry department grew and added faculty in the disciplines of forestry, wildlife, and fisheries. And in 1971, the school was renamed to the School of Forest Resources and Conservation. As the school grew in size and impact, it became divided into 3 separate departments under the umbrella of the School of Forest Resources and Conservation. Those 3 departments were forestry, wildlife and range sciences, and of course fisheries and aquaculture. And during this time, the school became a focus area for educational, research, and extension programs across IFAS and UF. And as each of these programs grew, they established their own undergraduate and graduate majors and developed a very close relationship with stakeholders across the state and region. Another significant reorganization took place in 1993 and 94 when the departments of Fisheries and Aquaculture and the Department of Wildlife and Range Sciences separated from the school. And once again, forestry was a standalone program within the school. Today, the forestry program supports a $12 billion forest industry in the state of Florida, but also supports a broad array of disciplines across natural resource subject matters and applications. About the same time that the school was renamed School of Forest Resources and Conservation, another program was just getting started here on UF's campus. At this time, Florida was a rapidly growing state, and demand for professional surveyors and mappers led the professional surveying and mapping community to establish a surveying and mapping program here at UF. That started in 1973. Fast forward to 2004, restructuring in the College of Engineering, and specifically in the Department of Civil Engineering, led the Geomatics faculty, at that time surveying and mapping, to merge with our school and there were 4 members of the faculty at that time that joined our school. Undoubtedly, strong personal relationships between the 2 administrators at that time, Lucas Arvanitis and Dave Gibson, paved the way for that merger. Since the merger, Geomatics has expanded into 8 different faculty lines and a full-time lecturer, and it remains the only full-service Geomatics program, that is where you can get a BS, MS, or PhD in the Southeast. In addition to being the largest surveying and mapping undergraduate program in Florida, our Geomatics faculty conduct highly specialized geospatial research that spans the globe. Much of their work bridges the other disciplines in our school, and they bring their sophisticated tools and working knowledge to research and problem-solving applications in those fields. And with UF's purposeful movement into artificial intelligence, we're excited about the work our Geomatics faculty are doing and can contribute to this emerging area for UF. Following yet another reorganization in 2008, the Fisheries and Aquatic Sciences Department again remerged with the School of Forest Resources and Conservation. And while this program was largely built on expertise in freshwater systems, today it has grown to encompass aquaculture, and many of you know the lab, the tropical aquaculture lab that we maintain down in Ruskin for ornamental fish. But another strength of the program is certainly our marine and fisheries management expertise. And it's important to note that in 2012, through a joint effort with the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, our fisheries program developed its first undergraduate major in marine sciences and has grown to over 100 students in a few short years. While each of our programs are highly ranked and respected internationally in their own right, we are here today to celebrate not those individual accomplishments, but what we have done and will continue doing together. Our new name better represents and describes the programs and work that we do, and we're thrilled to have our Geomatics and Fisheries colleagues more appropriately recognized in our school's name. One thing I believe we've learned over the last decade or more is that we are simply much stronger than just the sum of our parts. And as science, scholarship, and education becomes increasingly interdisciplinary, our school is uniquely situated to help provide solutions for our lives. And though our name is changing, our commitment to providing those solutions will not, and we look forward to continuing to serve our students, stakeholders, and clientele for the next 86 years. And so with that, it gives me great pleasure to formally announce the changing of our school's name to the School of Forest, Fisheries, and Geomatic Sciences. And I'd like to invite Dr. Scott Angle to come up and close out our session this afternoon.
Well, thank you, Dr. Baker. I enjoyed the history, learned a lot with all of that. You know, changing the name of a college, a school, a department is always difficult. There is territory. There are people who have better ideas, different ideas, and so I want to congratulate you on leading an effort to change the name. I know that it was not easy. I know that it is never easy to do so, and it takes a lot of skill as a negotiator to work your way through the many other units here on this campus and even elsewhere that may have opinions that sometimes differ from the direction you are taking us in. But through good skill and probably a little bit of good luck, you have arrived on a new name that I think better describes what goes on in the school. It's always important to have those areas that are critical to the mission, the teaching, research, extension mission of the organization, to be listed, because titles do matter. They matter when you're thinking about ratings and rankings of your school, which already ranks very, very high, sometimes number one nationally, but it does matter that you describe all the work that goes on in the unit. It matters when you are hiring faculty because they want to come into a comprehensive organization. It matters when you're recruiting undergraduate and graduate students because they want to come to a organization and a department and a school that understands what they are there to study. Matters to the staff that are looking for great places to work that are impactful around the state. And so because of the change, I think it will better reflect the true and I think legitimate mission of the organization, and there are many, many benefits that are going to follow along with that. So my congratulations to all of you to having gone through a process that, again, I know was not always simple and it was not always straightforward, but you stuck to it, you stayed straight on your path, and you've gotten here today to where the school needs to be. So Red, I want to congratulate you for shepherding this effort, to all the faculty and staff and students that were a part of making all of this happen, because we're all going to be better as a result of this. We're on a quest to make sure that the University of Florida is a top 5 public university. We rank number 6 already, so we are close to that point, but I think doing things like this are one of the key points and those vehicles that will help us get probably more quickly than any of us think into the top 5. So again, congratulations for being where you are, and I look forward to seeing where this takes the school. Thanks, Red.
Well, that concludes our event today. And again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us and look forward to working with everybody on this new chapter for the School of Forest, Fisheries, and Geomatic Sciences. Thank you.